Electricity and Plumbing. Mr. Voigt here. I want to go over what you need to be doing during class today. So I have taken, this is one of the big sheets of paper that you're going to get. This is obviously the first floor. And I've gone and drawn in, I just took a couple minutes here. I drew in the lights in the garage. These are bigger lights. So these would be, I'm going to say FL, well, they're not going to be, I was going to say fluorescents, but they're not going to be fluorescents. They're going to be big like shop lights, right? And usually they would have a number in here and they would tell you what type of light fixture they are. Often they will do that on plans. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could just, we want to go generic here, right? So you could go shop light. Well, L-I-G-H-T, I guess. Shop light. Okay? So you could just say SL, shop light, on all these. Now, whether I need 6 of them or 8 of them, you don't really know. And I put 8 in there. You could always reduce it back to 6 if you absolutely needed 10. I don't know what's going on in here. I have not put outlets in here, but you can see on my porch I put outlets. I'm assuming this is like a 3-season porch. If this was a screened-in porch, we're probably not going to have outlets over here. So there's assumptions I make. If you make a different assumption, that's fine. What I want you to do is I'm going to come here. Okay, and so what you can do is put notes in here, all right? So I'm just going to put a note right here. I'm just going to go like this. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make that 1. I'm going to say note. See, you have notes down here. I don't necessarily want to use those. So I'm going to say here, wow, I kind of did that wrong. I'm going to go ahead and go notes. I'm going to say 1. And I'm going to write porch is 3-season porch, and I put an I in there for some reason. So the porch is a 3-season porch. I just need to know what you're thinking when you put these outlets in here. Because if those are screens that go ceiling to floor, you can't really do that, right? You don't put an outlet in a screen. So you just got to be able to think your way through it. A lot of you aren't going to want to think like this, I think, is what the feeling I get when I'm in class sometimes. But you have to at least try. Because what you'll do, you're doing this today, and you're going to have me look at it, and I'll critique it, and then you can go back and change some of this before you turn this in for a grade. Notice what I put in here. Now, this is just something I made up on the fly. I put all my outlets in. I could have been a little neater doing it. I did it pretty fast. So, like this. If I wanted one of these, for instance, maybe I want 4 outlets in this one by the TV, 2 duplex outlets. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put my circle, and then you go like that, right? That's a quadplex outlet. And that might be, 2 of them next to one another. I might want that. I put P's in here. I should have put those inside of the circles. I put R's in these. These are recessed lights. So there's 8 of them in there. These are pendant lights. And you can see I have a 3-way switch circuit here. I have a switch here when I come in the door. There's a 3 right next to it. And I have a switch right there as I go out to the porch. This circuit has a 3-way switch circuit. There's a 3-way switch right there and a 3-way switch right there. I'm going to make one of your requirements. You have to have at least 1 3-way switch circuit. Notice, now I haven't done this whole thing, but I am not going to do this for my kitchen yet. If you put outlets in here, make sure that these are going to be small appliance outlets, right? And same with my bathroom. I would make that a small appliance circuit. However, everything else typically is going to be a general purpose, unless it's going, so like you have a stove here, that wouldn't be a small appliance, that would be your individual equipment. So if you want to go ahead and draw those in, you can. What I want you to do right now is do all the other things, except for your small appliance and individual equipment. But if you want to go ahead and do those, that's fine. What you're going to do then is, you're going to come back, I think you're supposed to have 6, maybe it's 7. It's either 6 or 7. I'd have to look at the numbers, but you guys should have those numbers. I think we had like 2,700 square feet, which would be 7 general purpose circuits. And you're going to start, once you get all these drawn, you got to go and you got to count all these things, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 things in this room. And then you count them and you figure out approximately how many things are going to be powered by, in your home. And then you start dividing them up. They don't have to be exactly equal on each circuit, but they got to be close. So let's say I have 80 things that need to be powered and I have 7 circuits. Well, I would divide 80 by 7 and I'm going to come up with, approximately 12, right? Something like that. 11 or 12 in each circuit. So then I would figure out, well, in this room, I'm probably going to have more than one circuit. I have more than 12 things in this room. So what parts in here are going to be on the same circuit? Probably want to group them together. So maybe I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know. Maybe you go something like this. And that would include this switch over here. That would be general purpose 1. So I want you to roughly draw where your circuits are. Okay? And roughly have the same amount of powered devices in each circuit so that you can start breaking these off. Because later on, you're going to show me where the electricity comes into this. Maybe the electricity comes into this entire circuit. Okay? Let's say right here. And then you make a line coming back. Right? And you put GP1 on there. Or we'll put the name of the breaker on there. I'll show you how to do that later. The other thing you kind of need to know is where is your breaker? Your breaker box. They haven't really drawn it in here, so we're going to go, I think we're going to keep it on the upper level in our garage. Okay? That may not be the best wall for it now that I look at it. You want to kind of keep it so that it can have access to the outside. It all depends. So if I look at my basement, I'm going to have a utility room. I could put it in my basement as well. I want it accessible when I'm on my main floor. So I think I'm going to put it right here because I think if you don't like it where I'm putting it, you can go ahead and move it. But that would be my SEP, right? My surface entry panel. So anyway, go ahead and put that in, and your job is to, on both of these levels, really think about this. Put some notes in there if you want to explain something. I need you to prove to me that you thought your way through this somehow. There are a few things that I put on the Google Classroom. I mean, obviously this video was on there, but I'm also putting on there, I haven't put the video on there yet because I'm making this video right now, but I put the electrical symbols, which you'll also get a copy of. Those are on there. I don't think I've put that in here yet. It doesn't look like, but I also have a document that explains this project to you. It gives you a little bit more detail. I will be adding to it. I'll go ahead and put it in here right now because I'll show it to you. So you'll see me putting it in. It'll explain a little bit more detail of what it is that I expect you to be able to deliver to me. This is it right here. So there it is. So this is in there. You can read through this. I'm going to add a few things probably to this list before we're done. But anyway, that's what I want you doing today. All right, guys.